As we get older, Craig and I deal with this. I always wonder, why do older people say like, I'm not good at this. I'm not good at technology. I'm not, and they define these things. And it's like, as I'm getting older, I see that things seem to be getting harder, or like I stop learning about these things. And it's like, oh my gosh, like I hit these plateaus of which I feel that it's enough. And then it's like, for some reason, shut it off, where it's like, I'm not constantly like a child, right?
We're
like,
not curious, right?
Curiosity.
Yeah, we're not bringing curiosity to the thing.
It makes you admire somebody like Kevin Kelly. You know, one of my heroes is Kevin Kelly, the founder of Wired magazine. And to this day, he has a daily art practice where he creates a piece of art every day. But now instead of painting as he used to, he uses Midjourney and DALL-E, and he's using generative AI to create art. But you can follow him on Twitter. Every day there's a new image, and they're striking, they're stunning. But to me, he's a good example of somebody who's kind of put himself on that learning edge, and he said, I'm going to learn in public, and that's going to be my accountability so that I don't let myself off the hook. But I think it's exceptionally rare. I think having a podcast actually is a great way to do that, right? You're forcing yourselves to learn and interface with new ideas. And now there's still the question of, do you do anything with it? Do you just, is it water off a duck's back, or do you really internalize it? Do you operationalize it? But to me, like the first step is actually just a matter of surface area. And to me, a podcast is actually a fantastic mechanism for increasing the surface area of your likelihood of encountering new information. To nerd out for 1 second, what most people don't realize is, how do you spark your imagination? The way you spark your imagination is to expose it to new information. Very simply. New and unexpected inputs are the things that trigger. And going back to Kepler, the thing that's amazing, the prevailing view at that time was the heavens were a firmament. Literally, they were fixed. It was a thing, like a fixed thing, right? And Johannes Kepler, looking up in the night sky one night, he sees a shooting star. This is a new input, right? And the question that came to his mind was, why isn't the firmament cracking? And if the firmament's not cracking and that thing is moving, it can't be firmament. Whatever it is, it's not firmament, right?
Right.
But the point is, new information is what sparked this radical leap of imagination. As we grow and as we kind of, you could say, as we burrow, we become more and more insulated. We don't expose ourselves to new information. You asked me for a story at the beginning. Another great story, like I was working with an unnamed auto manufacturer, and I found out all their executives, one, they never have to fill up their own cars because a gasoline truck drives around the parking lot. Okay.
Oh my God.
Talk about insulation. The other thing, they never have to go through the financing process because whenever the new model of the car comes out, the company just swaps it out for all the executives.
Yeah, why would they want to see how it works?
Dude, right? But it's like, you wonder why the experience sucks.
Right.
Because no one who has the authority to change it has ever experienced how bad it is.
No, they're having a great experience. You mean everybody doesn't get their car filled up when they're at work?
Exactly.
It just happens.
But the point is, if they would allow themselves a new experience, they would get information that would trigger their, like, what could we do to reinvent this? But they've never had that question because they've never viscerally experienced or even probably talked to, the kind of person who's in there haggling over, dollars and cents for a financing deal. Right.
But then they're not right anymore. So it's their ego protecting them, right?
Yeah, they have to sacrifice their belief that they know everything.
Right.
Yeah.
Crazy. I love that. I love that. It reminds me of I was an employee most of my life and then became a business owner 7 years ago. For longer than that, or over 15 years, I was an employee. So I know what it feels like to be on the front lines and then have the business owner that doesn't really understand it. And you're on the front line, you're like, but this is what's really going on. They're like, no, we're going to do it this way. And feeling like, dude, if I was running this, I'd know exactly what to do. And they're not making those moves because they're not seeing it from the front line.
Well, because it's not efficient, right? Like if you watch a child play, it's maddening because it's like, this is just attach it, it's like, move on.
Yeah.
You watch, I don't know about you, I have 4 daughters and one is still very small. And we walk around the block. It's like the irony of it is not lost on me because it's utterly hypocritical for me to want to get through this walk so fast, right?
Right.
But I watch her, she wonders at everything. And wondering at everything is, from a caloric perspective, it's incredibly expensive. And so we stop wondering and then we stop imagining, but then we end up in a place where we get disrupted, right? And but we can't do it everywhere or all the time. We never get anything done, right? So there are really good reasons why we bias towards efficiency and we focus, and then we have heuristics. Heuristics work for a reason. It's just whenever they get toppled, and we've seen this in society, we've seen it in business also, Kodak, they missed the digital revolution, right?
Yeah.
And they invented digital photography. They were the holders of all the patents, right? It's like, if it shouldn't have blindsided anybody, it's the people who invented it, right?
But don't we own that patent?
Yeah, exactly. So anyway, it is a paradox, but the leaders who say, you know what, how do I unleash my people, especially people on the front lines who are interfacing with the problems, who are, a lot of leaders will say, don't bring me problems, bring me solutions. That's not an innovation leader.
Right.
An innovation leader says, I love problems. That's a good one. What are we going to do about that, right? Because they recognize, to say the most like kindergarten obvious thing in this entire show, a problem is a necessary precondition to a solution.
Right.
And 100%. So the people who attend to problems tend to court lightning. Lightning tends to strike people who pay attention to problems more, And yet, for a lot of leaders, they go, no, I just want solutions. Just tell me the answer. Well, the best questions don't have easy answers. And so if you just want my answers, I'm going to give you the easy problems and the easy answers, rather than this is not straightforward. And it's inconvenient and it's inefficient, right? And so you have to, a lot of times it ultimately gets down to the pragmatics of how do we create the space to not just do the efficient thing, but also work effectively in regards to the future.